BigFroggy101.com exclusive in studio right now. Say hello to Jessie Chris. Jessie, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for your first time here in Happy Valley.
Thank you for having me.
Now, you're from Massachusetts originally.
Yes.
So you're on, is this your first radio tour ever now?
This is, yes.
You're in Macklehattan, which you said
Yes.
McCrackleackin or something.
Yes. Yeah, that was really cool. It was a really cozy space, and they had a cat there, and I have like a pet obsession, so that was really fun.
We have a pet rock here in the studio. That's about it.
That'll do.
So have you seen a couple different states so far? Or like, where have you been, like, across the country?
Well, this is like the very beginning of the radio tour, so we basically have just been in Pennsylvania so far. Next week we'll be in New York for XM Radio, and in Boston as well. So yeah, it's cool because this trip I've been seeing some new towns that I've never seen before, so it's been a lot of fun.
And are you taking a break for the holidays?
I think I get a little bit of a break for the holidays.
Your manager, Jeff's here in the corner. He's checking the schedule right now. Like,
Yeah.
now you're working Christmas straight through. No break.
He's relentless. He'll, like, meet people for the first time. He'll be like, "Hi, I'm Jeff. Do you have iTunes?" But he's awesome. He's exactly the type of person you want working for you.
Well, you are 18 years old,
Yes.
so you're kind of just starting on your entire journey right now.
Yeah.
But you already have your first album out.
I do.
So tell us a bit about that.
It's called Wildfire, and I started working on it when I was 16 years old, which is kind of a crazy thing to do at such a young age. I feel like most 16-year-olds are playing soccer, and I just woke up and had this crazy vision for an album. And so working on that was really cool. Actually, I got to go to Nashville for my first time ever when I first started recording it. And, of course, now going to Nashville is like a normal thing for me. But at the time, it was really exciting to go for my first time. I mean, it's always exciting to go back. But it's been such a whirlwind, and now we're just we're still enjoying the songs.
So it's 2 years in the making.
Yes.
And are you writing your own songs for it, or did you find some outside songs as well?
So I wrote 6 of the 11 songs on the album, and the other 5 songs were like different writers. And I did that because I wanted to have different writing styles on the album. But every single story is a story that I can personally relate to, even if I didn't write it. And so I think the whole album really is a good, like, I think just story of my journey so far. And so that was 2 years ago that I started working on that, and now I'm like in the baby stages of writing a second album. But for this one, I want to be a writer in every single song on it because I want to be able to take more charge. Now that I really know what I want, like I knew what I wanted to do before, but I was really young and I'd never been in Nashville, so I had a lot of hand-holding going on with like producers and stuff, like helping me out, and writers helping me out with songs. So for this next one, I'm excited to really like take charge, and now I really know what I want to do. So
in being 16 when this whole process started and being 18 now, where do you find the inspiration for most of your songs?
Just from my life experiences, and I think like high school, there's a lot of experiences that kids go through, and they can be either traumatizing or just really good lessons you learn or some really happy memories. There's a lot to write about. There's a lot of content from high school.
Well, I know on your Facebook page, too, you mentioned one of the songs on your album, Chameleons, basically kind of like around an anti-bullying campaign, kind of.
Yeah. So when I was younger, I struggled with a lot of bullying, and I think it's because where I'm from, music isn't really something that's normal. Like, it's not like Nashville where everyone plays. And I was really young and playing the guitar and into country music before it was cool up there. And so, I mean, I got teased, and from a really young age, I was being told by all the kids at school, like, just stop, you're not good, like, your voice is awful. And so it's really hard to, like, gain back that confidence and, like, find a way to keep going because it has always been my dream. So Chameleon was the first song I'd ever written, and it was my way of coping with just all the hurt. And the reason it's called Chameleon is because it's about the people who go out of their way to blend in with the cool crowd, like a chameleon blends in with its surroundings. So and that's why people are mean, because they want to fit in, so like they'll put down others to get them on top. And it's like, why would you do that? That really doesn't get you anything valuable.
Well, I think you have the last laugh now.
Yeah.
Did they kind of come around and change their minds, like, okay, yeah, we were wrong, sorry?
No. Well, Yeah, no. They're just I don't know. I haven't really heard from any of them, and I hope they're doing well for their sake. And I hope that they've grown up and realized that you can't treat people like that. That's just not right. So.
You're not, but now you chose her instead. Seems like everything we had you forgot. You look at me with such despise. I turn away pretending not to notice, but then I think back on all the times you couldn't even keep your promise. You're a chameleon, always land right in. Where did we go?
That was Chameleon from Jessie Chris, Big Froggy 101 exclusive. That's not the single for the album, though.
No, it is not.
The single's a song called Wildfire, so tell us a bit about that one.
So Wildfire is the title track for the album, and even though I didn't write the song, I really fell in love with it because it's about having a lot of passion for something. Whether it's like you're passionately in love with somebody, whether it's a passion for, in my case, music. So, and I really felt like it should be the title track because it just sums it all up. Like, this all came from passion and dreams and visions, so I felt it was the perfect name. And also, we kind of joke around saying, like, we hope it spreads like a wildfire. So...
Well, you're off to a really good start. I mean,
thank you.
You're a CMA member,
Yes, I am.
And you've opened for Chris Young, you've performed with Billy Ray Cyrus, and even
Yes.
Jeff Timmons from 98 Degrees. So how'd that all come about? That seems like a whole lot going on for just turning 18 years old.
Yeah, they were all really cool. And, well, the Billy Ray Cyrus thing was like, it made my childhood complete because I watched him on Hannah Montana every day growing up. I was like the perfect age when that show was out. And so when I got to meet him and then sing with him, it was just like, I felt like he was like someone I had known my whole life. Because I had
Robbie Ray.
Yeah, Robbie Ray, exactly. It just felt like I had known him, but I really didn't. Like, he was just on my TV, but it was really cool. And he looked just like what I thought he would look like in person.
Well, how'd that happen? Like, how'd you run into him where you ended up performing with him later on?
Okay, so it's an interesting story. So I was at a veterans hospital, and I was performing for, they had a little ceremony because a man in my state, back at home near where I live, he donated, what was it, 60 guitars?
Oh, wow.
60 guitars to the, like, music therapy program in the Veterans Hospital, and I was there playing a couple acoustic songs just during the ceremony, and he came up to me afterwards, and he was talking to me, and he was like, you know, one of my best friends is Billy Ray Cyrus, and he'll be here in like a couple weeks for a fundraiser I'm having, so it'd be really cool if you sang with him. And I was like, yes. And at first I was kind of like, is this really true? Like, does he
You're
really
pulling my
know?
leg. You gotta be,
Yeah,
right?
and then it actually happened, and I was like, whoa. I mean, and I think part of it is like karma. Like, you do something nice for other people. Like, I was there to play at the Veterans Hospital, and then I got something in return, which was really special. I mean, I wouldn't do it just for getting something out of it. I was doing it because I wanted to be there for them, and it was just really cool. Like, it really showed me that I think karma's a real thing.
Well, you do a lot of great stuff, even for kids. You're at a children's hospital in New Jersey yesterday, right?
Yes, I was, and I got to go around into all the kids' rooms and play a couple songs for them, and by the end of the day, I was, like, sweating. I had played so many songs over and over for them, but it was so much fun, and the kids, I mean, it broke my heart. Like, I really am praying for all of them, and they're so sweet, and it's just, it makes me feel good that I can be able to take their mind off of what they're dealing with, for even if it's just for like 10 minutes.
I'm sure it means a lot to them, too.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it definitely put a smile on a bunch of kids' faces, and that made me feel good.
So I'm sure the karma will come back around again.
I hope so. That'd be nice.
We talked about the single. Do you mind playing it for us?
Sure, this is Wildfire.
Jessie, Chris, live on Big Froggy 101.
Like a hot summer night, waiting for the lightning to strike and light up the sky so bright. All we need is a spark to start it, just a touch in the dark to know we're alive. You and I, heat is running through my veins. You set my heart ablaze, like a wildfire dancing in the night. I can't contain what's burning inside. It's too late. We're surrounded by flames. I don't care. I don't wanna be saved. Ignite my desire like a wildfire. Ain't a force on the earth stronger to bring a heart full of hurt back to life. Let it rise like a wildfire dancing in the night. I can't contain what's burning inside. It's too late. We're surrounded by flames. I don't care. I don't wanna be saved. Ignite desire like a wildfire. Whoa, whoa. Heat is running through my veins. You set my heart ablaze like a wildfire dancing in the night. I can't contain what's burning inside. It's too late. We're surrounded by flames. I don't care. I don't wanna be safe. Ignite my desire like a wildfire.
Very nice. Jessie
Thank
Chris,
you so much.
Wildfire, live on Big Froggy 101. The title track to your brand new album.
Yes.
So when you went to Nashville for the first time, what was that like? I'm sure it's just like something you heard about, like some kind of mystical faraway land, right?
It was like the littlest things made me so excited. Like in the airport when I went to the bathroom, I freaked out because they were playing Miranda Lambert, and it was the coolest thing in the world to me. Like everything made me so excited on that first trip, and it was so much fun. It was just awesome.
So was it everything you like kind of dreamed of and then more?
I mean, I had no idea what, I mean, it just, yeah, like you said, it's like a magical, mystical fantasy world, and then you go and you have no idea what to expect, and the first thing I noticed is that it's a lot smaller than I expected.
It is.
But I like that because, like, I get overwhelmed in like, big cities. Like, I love to visit them, but I definitely, like, I'm really small, and I'm really scared, like, and I'm not good with directions, so I think it's awesome how it's so, like, small, and everyone knows each other. And something I noticed is that when you're talking to people who, like, are local and they live there, they refer to it as, like, this town. Like, oh, everyone in this town. I'm like, well, it's technically a city, but it's so small, and it feels like a town, like a community. So that was something I noticed that I thought was really special.
So it kind of felt like home.
For sure, and they're really, like, welcoming to all kinds of people. Like, it doesn't matter if you're there to sing country music or to sing whatever the heck makes you happy. Everyone is there. There's respect for all musicians, and it's just really great. Even at CMA Fest, they treated every artist with the same level of respect. Whether you were me or whether you were Darius Rucker or Maddie and Tay or whoever, like, it didn't matter. Like, everyone got the same amount of time to play with the same number of instruments, and that was really cool. It made you feel like you were part of it all.
So what was it like playing CMA Fest for the first time?
That was, like, the craziest thing ever. That was my first gig in Nashville ever.
Really?
Yes, and people were like, what the heck? And I was like, what the heck am I doing here? And it was a lot of fun. It was, like, 4 days after I graduated from high school. So that was a really cool graduation/birthday present because I had just turned 18 like the week before. So that was crazy.
You can't top that present ever.
No, you can't.
Your mom's here too, and she's like, yeah, I gotta think of something special to make even Christmas probably look awesome by comparison right now.
Yes, that was really fun. That was so cool. That was a whirlwind.
Like wildfire too.
Yeah.
So when you're kind of going into the studio recording the album, what was that process like for you too?
That was really fun. Some of the songs, we knew exactly what it was going to be like, and then there were a couple that we had no idea what it was going to be like. So it kind of happened there for the first time in the studio, and it was completely made there. And for me, it was like watching a magic show, like watching, like, all of a sudden the guitars are recorded. Now the drums are there, and, like, watching it, like, all come together, it was just so incredibly rewarding because I've been working so hard and writing songs, and to see it actually happen and become, like, a real song was really incredible.
Now, did you grow up in a musical family too, or did you kind of pick that up on your own?
So, my parents are not musical, but both of my younger brothers are.
Okay.
And we all became pretty musical at a young age when my younger brother got an electric guitar for Christmas when I was about 9. And he was like, this is so cool. And he's a really smart kid. He got to learn to play guitar DVD, and I mean, this kid can build like anything out of Legos, like, and that was as a kid. Now he's like building computers, like he's really smart, and so I thought, oh, he's gonna be a master at this in like a week. And he plugged it in, and he was ready to smash the thing. He was like, this is so hard, I can't do it, this is ridiculous. But I was like, that looks so fun. But of course I wanted an acoustic guitar because I wanted to sing country songs. So I made my parents go out and get me my first acoustic guitar, and it's a Baby Taylor, and if I hold it up now, it's like the size of a ukulele on me because I was so little at the time. And so it just kind of went from there, and my littlest brother, we don't know where he came from because he plays every single classical instrument you could name. And like me and my other brother, we play like guitar, he plays the bass and the drums, like rock and roll country swag. And then the little guy's like classical, and we're like, where the heck did you come from? Like, that was not an influence on you.
I guess either you have it or you don't.
I know, I guess he was just born with that like love for classical music, but like we'll play rock music and he's like, turn that off.
It's like, you are the oddball, aren't you?
He is. He's such a funny kid. He's awesome. He keeps us laughing all the time. He wants a disco ball for Christmas.
Disco ball?
Yeah.
And Mom, how do you feel about that?
In his bedroom.
I gotta make it happen. He's 10.
He's 10. Yeah, he's 10.
How does he even know what disco is?
I don't know, but I think he wants a giant disco ball hanging in his bedroom from the ceiling.
Hey, whatever he wants, right, Mom?
He's a great kid. He's funny.
Well, do you want to play another song for us?
Sure.
Jesse, since you're here, the
While
guitar's still out.
While we're talking about family, I'll play my song Butterfly, which I wrote this song. Well, the story behind it is the album was only going to be a 5-song EP at first. And I came home from Nashville, and I sat down with my parents, and I was like, you guys are literally going to kill me, but the story's not over yet.
Well, you're still alive, so they didn't. That's good.
Yes. And my parents kind of rolled their eyes. They're like, are you kidding me? We just took you to Nashville. You recorded 5 songs, and you're asking for more? And this was literally the day after we came home from that. And I'm like, yes. And my dad said, like, if you write the songs, we'll take you back. And within a week, I had 6 more songs ready to go. I was like, let's do this. And my parents were like, okay, well, I guess we made a deal with you, so I guess we got to go. And when I was coming up with those songs, Butterfly was one of them. And I wanted it to be my way of saying thank you for believing in me and for letting me, like, make my dreams become true. And, I mean, even just to let me record my songs, that was like the first dream come true. So I'm really thankful for them, and so this is Butterfly.
Jessie, Chris, live on Big Froggy 101.
Little girl just 5 years old, looking for her daddy's hand to hold. Twirling around in her bedroom, stomping in her mama's shoes. In the blink of an eye, she's 9, little brother right by her side. She just got her first guitar, fell off her bike and got that scar. Growing up into a butterfly, Daddy watches before his eyes. She's no longer a little girl, getting ready to take on the world. Someday she'll touch the sky like a butterfly. And scared for high school, sees the girls who seem so cool. Tries to talk to her first crush, just one look and she starts to blush. Suddenly she's sweet 16, Daddy took her to Tennessee. Driving around in her first car, she's got dreams of going far. Growing up into a butterfly, Mama watches before her eyes. She's no longer a little girl, getting ready to take on the world. Someday she'll say, please don't cry,
a butterfly. Look in the mirror and suddenly I see I'm not that little girl I used to be. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3. Growing up into a butterfly. Daddy watches before his eyes. I'm no longer a little girl, getting ready to take on the world. Someday I'll touch the sky. Someday I'll say, please don't cry. I'm your butterfly.
Jessie Chris, Butterfly, live on Big Froggy 101. That's the story so far, huh?
Yeah.
In one song.
Yep, that's basically my whole life.
So how did you write 6 songs in 1 week? That sounds a lot for anybody.
I can't even remember. I mean, like, Butterfly happened because I knew I wanted it to be a thank you for my parents. And, oh my God, have you heard my song Gone?
I've not heard that one yet.
Okay, so it's like the rock and roll song on my album, and that came in like an hour. And that was really funny because that was like an ex-boyfriend from like forever ago who literally went to school in a different state for high school and then somehow ends up transferring to my high school and ends up in my class. And I'm like, what are you doing
Yeah,
here?
where'd you come from? Wait,
And so,
what?
and this was the same week that I had to like get together these songs for the album, and we needed like a rock and roll kind of like showing an edgier side of me song. And I was like, oh, I got a story for you. So that's where that song came from. And I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, it was so long ago and it was such a whirlwind. Oh, and Chameleon happened because I had written that, even though I'd written it years ago, it wasn't originally going to be on the album. And my mom was like, you need to record a good recording of your first song. I don't care if you don't put it on the album. I just want to have it. So we recorded it, and I kind of like tweaked the words to make it more how I would say it now. And we made a really cool arrangement for it. And I ended up falling in love with it so much that I wanted it on the album. And so that was really special because that's the first song I'd ever written. And so I don't know, it just kind of like, I mean, I was so inspired from like recording the first 5 songs. I came home like literally like on a roll, like ready to write about anything.
Now, Chameleon was your first music video as well. It's on your
Yeah.
website, jessiechris.com. Was that filmed at your high school?
That was my actual high school, but the storyline was based on my middle school.
Okay.
So it's funny. It's like, it's a public high school, but I went to a private middle school, so you'll see we're in like the uniforms and the ties, and that's like how I had to dress. So it was kind of a play on like scenery there.
So how'd you convince the school to actually kind of shut down and let you guys film there?
That was like the last week of summer, and my high school has been so supportive of my music. And I asked them like the week before, I was like, can I pretty please film a music video here? And they were like, sure thing. They gave us like full reign of the school for the whole day. It was awesome. I mean, they're incredible. My senior year of high school, they even let me take my classes online and walk at graduation so that I was able to tour and like travel and chase my dreams, but still graduate high school.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they were like, the reason why I'm probably in this studio right now is because my high school believed in me and they supported me and gave me the freedom to go out and like start working on this.
And you've been on tour quite a bit lately, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, I've like as long as I can remember through high school, I've been like in the most random places, like playing shows and doing things. And throughout high school, every like other week, I'd go up to my teachers and be like, so I'm going to be in Iowa playing a show next week. Can you give me the work that I'm going to be missing? And they probably got so annoyed with me by the end of the year, but I was always doing homework on the airplane to wherever random place I was playing. So it's a lot of fun.
Was it hard to balance kind of being on tour and working on your music with your schoolwork?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, before I was doing my school online, I seriously thought I wasn't going to be able to graduate high school. Like, I was a nervous wreck. But I'm so glad that my high school was able to be flexible with me. And but I was smart. I knew that as I got older, it would get more chaotic because I mean, I knew I was going to do this. There wasn't any other option. And so I knew I had to get as many classes done and over with in my first few years of high school as possible. So by the time it was senior year, I only had 1 full year class and a half year class left to graduate. So that made it easy to do it online.
So you planned way ahead of time.
Oh, yeah. I mean, since I was born, I've been planning this.
So 18 years in the making. You had this the second you were born.
Yes.
You knew this is where you wanted to go with it.
I mean, when I was a little kid, the back porch was my stage, and my girlfriends in the neighborhood, like, we would choreograph dances and sing all the songs, and they'd be like, I'm bored, can we do anything else? And I'm like, no way, like, this is just the dress rehearsal, we need to keep going. I was so dedicated from, like, the second I was born.
Well, and you just played from a big Boy Scout
I did.
jamboree kind of thing the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, and that was actually my 3rd time playing a show for, like, thousands of Boy Scouts. And the reason why is because it's so much fun. Like, they're so cool. And, like, they really love, like, music and concerts. And so, I mean, that's just crazy because, like, it's like I have 6,000 boyfriends. Like, my real boyfriend's going to kill me for saying that.
Your manager or your mom, they're both cracking up. And
I mean, they're just awesome. Like, and then after those shows, I was there for a couple hours in the freezing cold, like signing autographs and hanging out and taking pictures. And it's just a ton of fun. I can't wait to do my next Boy Scout show. Yeah, my manager says I signed like 2,000 autographs that night, which, I mean, I thought my whole body was going to fall apart because it was so cold and I was wearing a skirt. And it was outdoors.
So how'd that whole thing come about? You said you played it for a couple years now. So do they just kind of reach out and contact you? Was it in, like, near your hometown? Or?
So the first one was near my hometown. And someone we knew, I can't remember, reached out to us and was like, well, they're looking for a performer if you'd like to. And I had no idea what to expect. And that was the first really big show I ever played, like thousands of people. And that was also the first time that I had, like, signed autographs for people after the show. And so I was like, this is cool. Boy Scouts are cool. and then I think it was like either 2 years later or the next year, I mean, I had been bugging my mom, and this was before my manager was in the picture, but I was bugging her, like, we need to find the next Boy Scout show because that was cool. And then we finally got another one that was, again, near my hometown, I think. And then this last one was in New Hampshire, and I mean, it's just awesome. I'd love to keep playing for Boy Scouts.
Until your boyfriend gets mad that you're playing for Boy Scouts over and over again.
I mean, they're so cool. They have those, like, headlamps that we actually bought some. We actually bought some. So now, like, if my mom's, like, grilling steaks at night, like, outside, she wears the headlamp.
Your mom's over here like, I can't believe you just said that on the radio.
She's, like, in tears right now laughing. But, yeah, we have, like, 5 of those now. They were inspired by the Boy Scouts.
You're going to need a talking to once you get back in the car after this is over, I think. Well, I mean, we're having a lot of fun, though. I mean, I could tell you like to have fun. Like, even your bio on your website is, like, written, like all the things you enjoy.
Yes,
and you have
that was so fun. I had too much fun writing that.
And it says you have a Nutella obsession?
Yes.
Your manager's like, yep.
I do.
Yeah, tell us about that.
I mean, Nutella's great. I've had people ask me before, like, in interviews, what is Nutella? And I'm like, it basically is happiness.
In a jar.
In a jar, literally. And this one guy, for one interview I did, he was saying, like, he was a little older, and he was saying, like, well, like, down the road, years from now, like, maybe you'll be, like, on tour and, like, with Nutella everywhere, and then he was like, but I'll be in, like, oxygen, and I'm like, it's okay, we'll put Nutella in your oxygen.
There you go. So you could have happiness in a jar, too.
Yes.
Well, you said, like, you love eating at Chipotle, Chick-fil-A, Panera Bread, like, all probably the most unhealthy places on the face of the earth.
But then I have to, like, go work out after to balance it out. So, like, my theory is, like, just, like, you only live once, so eat what you want, whatever makes your heart happy, but then, like, just go for a run or something. Like, I do boxing, and so...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, like, I'm really into working out. I I get grumpy if I don't work out after a certain amount of time. And my parents notice it. They're like, you need to hit the gym, girl. Like, you are really grumpy.
So you don't reach for a Snickers, you go to the gym.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so that's my kind of way of making it work.
You said, and for all that, you don't like soda.
I don't. Isn't that weird?
How does that even happen?
I'm not that much of a sweet tooth other than Nutella. And
Okay.
I was never into soda, and I don't think there's any drinks that have caffeine in it that I like. So, I mean, think about, like, all the early mornings I have in the traveling, and I never have a sip of coffee. So, like, sometimes I don't know how I do it. Like, I'm just on, like, natural caffeine or something.
I guess, because I drink like 5 cups of coffee a day, and that's not even enough sometimes.
But, like, you're seeing me now. Can you imagine if I had, like, 2 cups of coffee and then...
You'd be bouncing off the walls.
Literally. I'm like a knucklehead.
Well, do you want to play one more song for us while you still have
Sure.
all your energy?
Yeah, so this song is called You Were California, and it's on the album. And this was one of the songs that was in the second half of the album that I wrote on an airplane. So I'm pretty sure the guy sitting next to me was like, what is this girl doing? Like, furiously scribbling in her notebook. He was probably so I write songs on planes sometimes. He was probably like, I think people think like, what is she doing? And then they try to look at what I'm doing, like kind of like try to lean over and
That's
see
what
what
you
I'm
kind of
writing.
pull the notebook away, like,
And
no.
it's like stupid boys, like, boy, you did this, and they're probably looking at it like, is this her diary or something? So yeah, this was one of those airplane songs.
It kind of is like your diary, though.
It is. It really is. It's like a poetic way of writing in a diary.
All right, Jessie,
So
Chris.
here we go. You Were California. It was a summer breeze. You were getting to me with the way your hair. We didn't have a care. You were 17 when we jumped in the sea. Spent 3 months together in the hot weather. You had the movie store looks. There was no doubt that you had me hooked. The way your smile lit up like the West Coast sun. I was just a fool for ya, and you were like California. You came in like the tide, and we sat side by side with the bare feet. You made me feel complete. Hoped you felt it too. Under the midnight blue, looking up at the sky, we felt so alive. You had the movie star looks. There was no doubt that you had me hooked. The way your smile lit up like the West Coast sun. I was just a fool for ya, and you were like California. We're like California. Oh, there was no doubt.
Jessie, Chris, live in the Big Froggy 101 studio. Who would you say your influences are, Jessie? Because your sound's a little all over the place.
I've got a lot of influences, and when I create my music, I try to like take a little pinch of every influence and put it in my music. And I think my biggest one is Rascal Flatts. They're my favorite. They were one of the first artists that I started listening to when I was little, and that's how I learned to play and sing, by like singing along to Gary.
And his high notes,
Yes,
of all things.
I know, and oh my God, the things I would do to meet them. They're my favorite, and it's like written, it's like published in so many interviews saying like I'm gonna need medical assistance if I meet them because I'm gonna faint or something. And I'm not usually like a fangirl type. Like usually I'm like, hey, what's up? But,
You can be cool about it.
yeah. But no, like there's no chance that I could be cool around them. They're probably gonna be like security, crazy blonde chick. But yeah, so that's my biggest influence. And then there's some like ones you wouldn't expect, like U2, which is one of my favorite rock bands. And also Aerosmith. I'm into rock too.
Well, and you're from Massachusetts. I think they will
yes.
throw you out of the state if you don't like Aerosmith.
Yes. And I saw them in concert a few years ago, and that was really cool. And it's cool that Steven Tyler even like went country.
He's gone country now.
Yeah. So that's really cool. And so Rascal Flatts, U2, Aerosmith.
You got to think about it. There's so many,
I know,
I guess.
there's so many. And then, I mean, of course, like there's people like Carrie Underwood and Taylor Swift. Even though she's not so country anymore, she's still a good role model. I mean, as someone to like as a younger artist looking up to an older artist, like that's a really good role model to have.
Well, she kind of broke the door down.
Yeah.
Going forward.
I think so. And I think that a lot of country artists have a lot to owe to her because, I mean, it's so big now. Like, country music has grown so much, and I think that had a lot to do with her kind of, like you said, breaking the door down.
So where can people find out more about Jessie Chris online? You're all over social media. I can tell you that much already.
Yes.
So
I'm one of those, like, Instagramming, tweeting teens, but you can find me on my website, jessiechris.com, Instagram at jessiechrismusic, Twitter at thejessiechris, Facebook, all that fun stuff. So yeah, we can chat online.
So you can find Jessie Chris pretty much everywhere but Pinterest, it seems like.
I do have a Pinterest,
Okay.
but it's
And
not
Pinterest,
really
too.
like, I mean, I haven't really like thought about like sharing that with my fans before. I mean, it's really just to get ideas for like mac and cheese recipes and stuff.
You and my girlfriend will get along great with the mac and cheese. All right, one more time. Jessie Chris, thanks so much for stopping on by.
Thank you for having me.